Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to the Nexus Gaming Series. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm keeping the Final Fantasy VI engagement music going because it's epic music to draft to. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone is okay. We have a big one here, Team Name Change versus Taco Team. First cast of the Heroic Division from yours truly this season, and boy am I excited. Top level of Nexus Gaming Series. It's like Joey's Rattata. It's in the top percentage of Nexus Gaming Series. Alright, this music is actually getting a little bit too annoying, so we're just gonna abruptly pause it. There we go. Coming into this match, looking forward to the action that we are about to see unfold before us. Truly a bounty of Heroes of the Storm action has been prepared by these two teams. Team Name Change taking us to Brax's Holdout first. Can be a snowbally map. Looking forward to seeing what happens there. Team Name Change. Off to a moderate start here in the Nexus Gaming Series. 0-2-0, 2 ties. Taco Team, currently struggling. Sitting at 0-2. Hoping to improve their standing tonight. See if they can grab a map or two. But join me as we witness the ceremonial banning of the Genjis. Truly the best opening of any HOTS esport event. The banning of the Shimada brother. Normally it's been Hanzo lately, but the banning of the Shimada brother is a sacred right that says truly the match has started. Pardon me. I probably sound like a smoker. I am not. Looking at Medivh ban, Medivh can be pretty powerful. We've already talked about how at moderate level, well, this was mentioned in Nexus Game Series. Moderate level play, Medivh hasn't been seen a lot, but when he's been seen at top level play, the ability to get value off Arcane Explosion is actually broke. Like, broke AF. It's bad. Especially with his 13 talent. So, wanting to get that out of the way, and I respect it. Drinking some tasty energy drink, Amp energy drink. They don't sponsor me, but I pay enough money to them that I'm probably keeping them in business. Garrosh going to be the first pick. Short lanes early in the game on Brax's Holdout, with the high emphasis on the early game play. The ganks that Garrosh can provide, especially given how short the lanes are. And by short, I mean gate to gate. Braxis is very, very short. But there's the Stukov Maiev. Classic combo. Separate someone out into a silence. Blow them up. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And I'm going to get it right here. Looking at the counterplay. Stukov can be a bit vulnerable to dive. But you can always just focus on separating someone out with Garrosh and blowing them up. We're going to see the Malfurion. Not surprised. Getting support very important on this map to have someone who can sustain long term. Especially against Stukov. Combos well with the Garrosh. Flip into a root. Root to deny the objective for a fair amount of time. Garrosh gonna be tanking, and there's the Junkrat. So good wave clear, and Junkrat Garrosh is scary. You have to watch your position so closely all the time. It's incredibly stressful to play against. And they're going to put that stress onto that Stukov and Maiev. And further, one of the advantages of Junkrat is if Stukov tries to step up with an aggressive E, Junkrat can throw the mine behind him and blow Stukov into the middle of the team fight. Stukov has to break off the silence when he sees that concussive mine going out. So, good pick. I like it a lot. Neither team picking their solo laners yet. Possibly seeing a Chromie ban. Garrosh Chromie, a classic. And, with the Junkrat, it would just give so much poke, they wouldn't be able to really approach the fight. Maiev wouldn't be able to get any value. So banning that out now, not wanting to deal with it. Apologize if you're about to hear my air conditioner, but it's hot in my room. Nope, you should not be hearing it. Looks like my noise gate is configured well. I am a genius. Jaina's gonna be banned out, so trying to deny that, you know, the slow off the silence from Jaina, you can pull someone in, silence Blizzard, it hurts really bad. So that's gonna be a ban. So some mage bans here. Interesting. No tank bans and no support bans in these ban phases. Now, obviously, you wouldn't ban a support in the last phase. But, you know, they've mostly been denying, I guess, what you could call damage dealers. I mean, Medivh certainly can chunk very, very well at the moment. Going with Gul'dan Muradin. Interesting. Now, normally with Maiev, you'd see some burst follow-up. Gul'dan can absolutely chunk, though. Fantastic wave clear. And actually, he's a good counter to Malfurion. It's because his Q outranges Moonfire. Even more so if he goes to level 1 talent. Muradin, meanwhile, can both sit on the point well. He's very hard to push off. But he can also actually rotate quickly because of Door's Toss over the wall. And Maiev can also blink over the wall, so there's actually quite a bit of gank potential here. Last pick, probably going to be a solo laner. But let's see what Taco Team has in store. Taco Team gonna go with Hanzo Sonya. So even more poke here. Grabbing that Hanzo. And then getting a very, very strong solo laner in Sonya. So a lot of potential to just sit back and poke until eventually you're able to kind of catch someone out with a concussive mine or with Garrosh and then just blow them up off that with the burst damage that Hanzo can provide. And then you have Sonya, fantastic solo laner. Can hold the lane very well. Doesn't hard lose to anyone, really. Does very well. So what is going to be the solo lane pick here on the side of team name change? Looking at solo laners that are common on this map and not common really on other maps, you could see a Ragnaros or a Rexxar in that solo lane. Rexxar can actually do well because whenever Sonya Whirlwinds, you just hit the W button and end that. It's gonna be the Malthael. Also a strong pick to Sonya. Skill matchup, though. But Die Alone could definitely help with that. Malthael also does well into the Garrosh. You know, especially with Last Rites. If you're able to chunk Garrosh low, Garrosh's armor does him no good against Last Rites. And Malfurion doesn't really have that much in the way of a burst heal option unless you just get off a killer Moonfire. So, interesting teams. Swap phase over, looking at it. Making sure there's no banned skins. We'll check the mounts on the way in, but I think we should be okay. But join me, will you, here on this fantastic adventure on this Wednesday, April 18th. 5 days before the end of the world, if Fox News is to be believed. And, it's not. And we're going to see these two teams go at it. Oops. And you're not seeing this. Don't look at the banner right now. Whatever you're doing, don't look. Don't look. Okay, we're good. But we are going to start here on Brax's Holdout. Move to Cursed Hollow for map 2. But we do see, again, kind of this height. This guy is, it's almost kind of Gale Force-esque. The team name change comp. The solo frontliner with the Malthael, the Maiev. On the right side, a bit more of a traditional kind of poke comp. Both teams have enough wave clear to really deal with it. Although wave clear a bit better on the side of team name change. But we're going to jump here into game numero uno. in honor of Taco Team, I'm going to speak Gringo Spanish. It's like Spanish, only it's horrible and pronounced incorrectly. We're going to have Kawaii Sushi on that Maev. Smitty Werbin, going to be on Stukov. Met Ball, going to be on Gul'dan. Divine Fate on Muradin. Up here in the top, we have Ready Buttkiss, going to be on the Mathaela. And over here in the bottom, Dark Link, going to be on Hanzo. It's going to be Marmoon on Malfurion. Draco is going to be on that Junkrat. Valak, going to be on Garrosh. And up here in the top, Mar O'Brien, the team captain, going to be on that Sonya. So once again, Taco Team has not yet won a Nexus Gaming Series map. They are currently sitting at 2 domination losses. Looking for their first win. There's a throw onto Muradin. He throws himself right back. Always a fun little symmetry when Garrosh throws Muradin. Taking a look at level 1 talents. E-build coming out of Gul'dan, which makes sense. Triple backliner here in the bottom lane. Don't really want to step up too much with the Garrosh. And you can still, again, use the Q on Malfurion if he steps up for Moonfires. Nothing really too surprising in any build. Fear the Reaper is a bit less common I've seen than on Pale Horse, but it makes sense, specifically on this map, because of how much will be soloing. W build, though, coming out for Hanzo, rather than the more traditional Redemption. But it can get a lot of values on these choke points if you're good with aiming those W's. It's a tricky shot, but this is Heroic Division. We're expecting the highest skilled players. Trying to separate out Garrosh. He does get separated a little bit, but chunk to about half health. Still pretty healthy. Maev trying to pull Malfurion in. Pulls him back into the silence, but not really the follow-up damage there needed. Muradin capping bottom point. Nobody really making a move for top yet. Ready Buttkiss gonna try to get on it now. While Mar O'Brien forced the soak at the wall. Divine Fate holding the point, preventing cap. Hanzo rotating up. Could move on to Buttkiss. Does do some chunk damage. Should be able to cap it. Mar O'Brien's actually in a world of trouble at the moment. Mar O'Brien very, very low. Malfurion selling out for the kill, but Hanzo gonna turn around some hard damage, and so that trade will actually favor Taco Team here, as they're able to both neutralize the top to stop the cap increasing, but they're going to pick up some soak, and at least one or two minions lost, probably more, for Malthael. No one rotates up for team name change. It is Kawaii Sashi, not Kawaii Sushi, I'm aware. I actually had sushi for dinner. So some could say I had sushi on the brain. Here we go now. Blue recapped. Ready Buttkiss, though, taking a lot of damage. Hanzo still hanging out up top, being a nuisance for this Malthael. But the fact that Malthael is forcing 2 people top should bode really well for this bottom, as now we're seeing a pretty heavy push in on the side of team name change. Now trying to pull Garrosh back over the wall, some good corruption damage coming out. Gul'dan already about a third of the way done with that quest. And, you know, they're already at 70% beacon process, so they've gained an Ultralisk no matter what happens. So just push in on bottom, get the value down there. Now Hanzo forced to rotate back down. This could allow Malthael to get on point. Moving in for the Garrosh. There's a Storm Bolt into the silence. Down goes Gary. Ready Buttkiss trying to stay on Mar O'Brien here. Keep the damage coming. Die Alone was picked up. But Sonya also with that Battle Rage. Maev rotating up, retreat pings come out. No one able to get onto this bottom point, so this could be a cap. Marmoon kind of stepping up a bit aggressive here, but without Maev is a bit safer now. Gul'dan not going to blow you up, certainly. But here comes Garrosh. Mine on the point, but this is going to be 100-0 Zerg wave. In favor of team name change. Up early here. Team name change going to push in against the Tacos. Sonya and Malthael switching to the bot lane. So going to be a Zerg wave up here with all the potential to separate. And this Zerg wave can actually chunk heroes pretty effectively. Big mine here separating out Muradin, but he is Muradin, so he's not in too much of a risk. Root onto Malthael there. Going for the tether, pulls in 2. Garrosh flipping Metball over the wall. I don't think Dwarf tosses up this time. Gul'dan Guzdo down. Excuse me, I thought that was Muradin, but no, that was Gul'dan. Still, though, trade 1 for 1. Hanzo for Gul'dan. And they are going to pick up a fort here with relative ease, despite Gul'dan being down. Beady Butkus, excuse me. All over Marl Bryan. But here comes Stukov. Has the slow and the root. But no Gul'dan there to really finish off because of the range. Gul'dan still rotating back after that pick in the last fight. But already a 1-level lead and a huge structural advantage in favor of Team Name Change. And they want to push it in. They want to rush 10. They're going to take this wall. Junkrat rotating down, trying to be a nuisance. Now need to be careful. Garrosh here as well. So a well-placed concussion mine could do quite a bit of damage. But yep, they're just going to go ahead, rotate away. They got the wall, they're up a level, going to start working their camps. Divine Fate going to make sure, keeps vision on the enemy team, keeps that lane a little bit soaked. Actually, more than a little bit. He's going to get all the minions, so not a little bit. I don't know why I said a little bit soaked. Now we are seeing Gul'dan going for that hunger for power, which is, you know, risk-reward, a very popular talent nonetheless. But it can definitely allow post-16 for Gul'dan to just absolutely chunk. I mean, Ruinous Affliction, you just see your whole health bar turn yellow. It's a feels bad, man. It's a feeling no one wants, frankly. You know what? Does Ruinous Affliction proc a second time if someone gets hit by 6 times with the same corruption? Thinking emoji. Malthael, though, meanwhile, picked up by Marl Bryan up in the top lane. Solo Laner's Curse, you never get to see the finish. But well played there, Marl Bryan, getting that kill. Forcing Gul'dan up. Bruiser Camp being picked up here, though, on the side of Taco team. Muradin thinking of invading, but level 10s here now picked up. Gul'dan forcing the top lane. Massive shove. Never overly surprising. Ooh, there's a big Warden's Cage that catches no one. Waisashi with the miss. There's a tether onto Garrosh. Indomitable comes out. Stormbolt there onto Hanzo, trying to get some damage out, but not really the follow-up there yet. Dugov staying with the Lurking Arm down just to make sure they get much soak as they can. Level 10's now picked up on the side of Taco team. It is Riptire Twilight Team Dragon's Era. Still waiting on Garrosh and Sonya to pick theirs. Chasing Muradin a bit, looking for the flip. Taco team has the bottom at the moment. Malthael waiting in this bush, gonna jump onto the Sonya. With that last rights, it's a lot of pressure on Sonya in this solo lane. Now turning around, Wrath of the Berserker Ancient Spear. Garrosh still has not picked a talent. I'm very surprised by this. 10% beacon progress for the side of Taco team. Well, I guess Garrosh could be thinking Decimate just because of the triple melee, but I just think, like, if you're able to separate out Malthael and with the Warlord's Challenge have the Riptire hit so many people, it'd be pretty powerful. Hanzo rotating up to help out against Hanzo here. Now pushing in, getting some value. We're going to trade out here in the bottom. Pressure for pressure. Waisashi going in once again. Gets the tether right before the stun onto Valak. But Fort, still pretty healthy. Sonya rotating down with Hanzo here. Looking for a gank. Going to be spotted out here by Divine Fate. No one in the top lane at the moment. They're going to look for this fight, though. It is Warlord's Challenge. Here comes the taunt. Oh, and a huge stun combo on to Maiev. Fear comes out, but not in time to save. Valak going to be able to survive this. Sonya all over the chase. Good 5-man engage, but not going to be able to get any channel progress because they abandoned top lane. And losing some soak up there in the process. At least a little bit, not much. Sonya now, though, moving on to the point to cap. Muradin trying to neutralize here on bottom. Garrosh gets a toe on to stall it. Now taking a lot of damage from Gul'dan. There's the massive shove. Muradin getting rooted, but he does neutralize the point. 18% beacon progress for the side of Taco team. Meanwhile, Hanzo's still up top. Could get bursted down. Ooh, missed Q there. Could have really hurt if it landed. Maiev coming up with the rotation. Gonna step onto the point here. Fire Bats being picked up. 2v2, potentially. Need to be careful, though. Once again, no healer up top, and the last rights could absolutely finish a gank attempt quick. Sonya now being chased down. Malthael actually successfully invading the point with Maiev. Bottom getting captured here, though. 46% beacon progress. Now it's going to start climbing in for team name change. Valak not able to get onto the point before it happens. There's a silence into a Warden's Cage onto Draco Marmoon in the backside, but it's Stukov who's going to go down first. Junkrat going to follow, but Kawaii Sashi just trying to run away, blinking. Sonya on the chase, going to look for the Ancient Spear. Can it hit? Kawaii Sashi running out of places to run here. Doesn't have the vault, going to get taken out by Sonya, and that is in favor of Taco team at the moment. But now they have to disengage. Last Right's going to come in, claim Valak. Despite the Twilight Dream, no kills yet, and that's a 2-for-2 trade. Bruiser Camp already softening up the top here. Taking out one of the cannon towers. Here is a big Zerg wave. Pushing bottom. Gonna take this fort very, very quickly. Stukov coming back. Ooh, and there's a good Dwarf Toss onto Marlbrand. A huge concussion mine, though. Or maybe that was Garrosh. No, that was a concussion mine to throw Divine Fate off of Marlbrand. Here comes Garrosh. That was just so well timed. Pushing in now, have that Stukov silence, annoying as it is. But there's a lot of poke damage, Hanzo and Junkrat. With the Ultralisk down, it's going to have to finish. Now Kawaii Sashi on the wrong side, getting flipped in a bit deeper. Able to get away, though. Gonna start to rotate up towards the top. Zerg camp cleared up, but keep wall down. One level advantage here. Hanzo gonna give vision of the invade. They're gonna back off it, not wanting the fight at this moment. Not running away though. Potentially looking at this engage. Stukov does have that potential root combo. Here it comes. There's the root into the Horrify. Cleanse onto Valak with the Indomitable, but Marmoon going to go down as well as Garrosh, and it's going to be Marlbrand falling next. Great fight there for team name change. Not over yet. Malthael using the Race Strike to get over the wall, but Hanzo able to leap away. Level and a half lead, though, and now they can move into the boss. And that was just a fantastic team fight there. Great silence from Stukov with the Horrify separating out so many people. It just enabled basically 3 or 4 seconds. Where at the start of the fight, half of Team Taco just wasn't able to do anything. And that was enough time to get a couple of kills and turn the fight from there. Now Bruiser Camp going to be picked up as well, and it looks like there's going to be a push attempt here. 16 should be picked up soon. Will nearly be picked up off this minion wave. Next minion wave will do it. Divine Fate seeing Marlbrand there. Trading out some damage. Junkrat going to poke in a bit. Fire Bat's also going to be taken here. Not getting a lot of value at the boss moment, but then once they get Fire Bat get up here, it could be incredibly valuable. Cannon starting to go down, and here comes the push in. Level 16's here. There's the Ruinous Affliction. That is a huge, huge talent. Stukov going with Super Strain as well, trying to focus down on Valak. There's the root combo, and now the silence with the Maiev tether pulling Malfurion back in to his death. That's the tank and the healer down. This could be game with the boss up, with the Fire Bats. Can they do it? There's a root on the Kawaii Sashi. Kawaii Sashi now all over Sonya. Sonya gets tethered back into the members of Team Name Change, and they are going to take this game. Pretty back and forth in the mid game there until about level 13. And then you saw Team Name Change turn it up. They tightened up their combos a bit. Drat gonna go down. Team Name Change taking the first game, 1-0. Very, very well played. Well, we'll be right back here with game number 2. I'll leave the stats up for a bit. Thank you for watching. We'll be back here in about 15. All right, we are back here on the Nexus Gaming Series. Once again, DB Smiley casting some team name change versus Taco Team Action. Team name change going up 1-0. Very, very dominant late game there on Brax's holdout. Once they got a big team fight win over that Bruiser camp, they ended the game quick. Gonna put Taco Team on notice. This is a map 2 where bosses can end the map quick. Gonna have to make sure they don't make such a mistake again. Once again, team name change wanting nothing to do with that Medivh, and frankly, I can't blame him. See, Medivh is just, he's such an interesting hero in terms of, like, he counters out so many burst type things, and now with his ability to turn around damage, it's just unpleasant to deal with sometimes. Will the Maiev get targeted out here, or will another hero be banned? Let's see. Genji was the first ban last map. Genji, good on this map as well. What's it gonna be? There were a lot of threats that showed up in that last game, but I think Maiev really was a big part of it. Stukov also a big part of it. Could be a Stukov ban. I wouldn't hate it. If, in fact, they're worried about all the things Stukov enables with that silence. Gonna be the Maiev ban. Not a surprise. After the effect it had in the last game, not at all a surprise, and not at all one that I think there's any shame in not allowing. Looking now, what are the first two picks here for the members of Team Name Change? We shall see. They took the Stukov early. They took Stukov Maev early last game, so going with the Stukov again, not a surprise. Garrosh was a high priority for Taco Team. Let's see if they still want to stick with that. Not as good on this map as Braxis, just because of the kind of nature of the lanes are so wide that ganks are just, or the lanes are so far apart that ganks are just harder. Not to say it's a bad pick, just not typically as common on this map. But if not that, then what? Do you prioritize the Hanzo or the Junkrat again? Do you want to get that Malfurion? Make sure you don't get support choked. If you don't want Malfurion, what else do you get? So Genji, Diablo. So they're going to go ahead and grab the Genji, putting priority on it. They banned it last game, so want to get it now. And it's a good way to pressure Stukov, as is the Diablo. So we'll see what kind of value can be gotten with that hyper dive. Now, if you're on the side of Team Name Change, do you grab some damage that can deal with the dive? Do you maybe grab a strong tank now? Garrosh can also pair well with Stukov. Throw, stun, silence. Pretty strong. What's it gonna be? 18 seconds on the clock.
Change is upon us.
Dahaka Phoenix. So getting Dahaka for that global. And then Phoenix for just the raw damage. Now, Phoenix does have good escape if Diablo managed to get his grubby little hands on it. Dahaka, has the global, has good wave clear, has good macro presence. Strong pick. I'm kind of surprised to see it this early, given that Dahaka's seemingly dropped off a bit, but then again, I mean, if you think the enemy team could pick it in the next two picks, you gotta grab it now. But now they have to pick up a tank with their post-bans pick. What's that tank gonna be? They worked with the Muradin last game. Muradin could work. Banning out Tychus. I'm kind of surprised by the Tychus ban. Because they already have the auto attack in Phoenix. Not to say that you can't double up auto attacks, especially into a Diablo, especially with minigun. But I guess I'm just kind of surprised by it when you already have such hard engage. And the enemy team has a Phoenix Dahaka. Again, not to say it's a bad ban, just I'm surprised by it. Malfurion ban, not at all surprised by. Not wanting to deal with that when you can avoid it. Malfurion actually counters the Dahaka pretty well because it's very easy to cleanse the tongue with Q. Just whenever anyone gets tongued in a team fight, hit 1 or whatever button you map it to. That target is going to run away scot-free. Game sound seems to be quiet. Let's see if we can kick it up a notch, as the cooking shows say. There we go. What are the next two picks here? You now have a Phoenix. You don't have a support yet. You also don't need to grab it now. You grab a solo laner and a ranged assassin, a sustained assassin. You get the Uther, which I actually like here. Uther, Greymane, so a lot of dive. Very, very strong dive potential. How are you going to counter this? I mean, Wall of Crazy, maybe Tyrael, but then you're a bit low on CC, but Tyrael's still decent here. Could also maximize global and go with Faustad, but he'd just get blown up in team fights. So you want things that are reasonably bulky. You could see... I mean, you could go, like, real bulky and go something like Sonya tank, go triple warrior into what you're seeing. Not advocating for it, but it's doable. Probably gonna grab CC tank, maybe Joanna or ETC. And sustained damage. Nope, gonna be the Garrosh, so not a ton of CC. You have to have Tahaka to help it out. But then there's the Cassia to deal with the Greymane auto attack damage. And I think it's a great choice. Cassie, you can also go into a poke build to punish Uther quite a bit. Uther could have a hard time keeping up with all this. But Uther will be able to save any target flipped fairly well. Most of the targets when they're flipped have some kind of way to get out as well. You have the Cleanse for the Tahaka target. And then Divine Shield. What's the last pick? Going to be... Tyrael. Yeah, I thought it might go that direction. That's part of why I said maybe team name change could grab Tyrael. Not at all surprised to see a Tyrael. This much dive. They're really going to just try to get on top of a target. And they could actually just dive Stukov. I mean, Phoenix has an escape. Not easy going to be able to blow him up. Tahaka can burrow, and he's bulky as hell. Cassie are reasonably bulky, still diveable. And Garrosh is Garrosh. You're not going to dive him. So it's probably going to be Stukov. So Smitty Werbin going to have to position very well here in this game. Well, it is starting to get to summer here in Philly, so it's getting nice and toasty in my room, hence the air conditioner running there in the back. My office is upstairs, so all the heat gets trapped up here. Doesn't help that my cats are pounding on the door, wanting to get in, wanting to love me. I know I'm turning away their love, but I have another love, and it is the love of good hots. We're looking to see it here. Taco Team still has not won a match here in the Nexus Gaming Series. Team name change still has not dominated an opponent. They've drawn every single match they've played, and I say every single, it's 2, so both. So which streak's gonna break first? Team name change streak of draws, or Taco Team streak of losses?
Prepare yourself.
It's gonna be one or the other.
Heroes.
As we move into the series. Over here on the left, going to be Divine Fate on the Garrosh, Smitty Werbin on Stukov, Metball going to be on the Phoenix, Kawhi Sashi going to be on the Cassia, and Ready Butkus on that Tahaka. Down here in mid, Dark Link on Genji, Marl Bryan on Tyrael, Marmoon is on the... Oh dear. They're just stacked as well. Valak on... Sorry. Valak is going to be on Diablo there. Marmoon is on the Uther. I couldn't really tell. There was just so much stacking there. Draco on Greymane and Marl Bryan on Tyrael. Rip. Well, look at the talents. Justice for All. Not a surprise to see that. Gonna be the expected pick from Tyrael at this point in the game. Genji not going with Swift's like Agile Dismount. Interesting. That's, I guess, to enable a deeper dive without having to use Strip Strike to do it. See, they can dive the target, try to blow them up, and then if it doesn't work, Swift Strike out. That's my guess. W build out of Greymane over the Q build. W build is strong, especially if the team's stacking up. It'll get a lot of value, and since they're diving, that's looking like what will happen. So you'll get these shorter cooldowns, and eventually get that added armor duration of a half second. Could pair well into the Silence of Stukov with Guardian of the Ancient Kings. Darklink against Ready Butkus here in the bottom lane. Darklink should actually do decently well here. Bad wave clear, of course, but just going to be able to pressure Dahaka and just constantly auto-attack, as Dahaka's already dropping a little bit low, and Darklink not afraid, going in a bit aggressive, taking some minion damage, though, and this is kind of the downside is, okay, but you're still going to ultimately lose out. Uther coming down to top off Darklink, who actually just tapped, so Uther right now just in a position gang. Diablo clearing up the mid lane. Greymane already working Siege Giants, as was Phoenix, both teams. Fast camp timings. Phoenix going to move straight into this Bruiser. Stukov coming to help out. Greymane tapping, going to go ahead and move into Bruiser as well. Both teams being aggressive with their camps. I like it. Both going Siege Bruiser. I have seen when, you know, when the totem's down here in bottom, the left team could go Bruiser Siege, get their Siege Giants up a bit later, potentially get more value in the top lane. But, you know, I'm a sucker for the classics, and that is a classic. Ooh, good tongue there on to Genji, num num noms, but Dahaka having a bit of a hard time and actually taking a lot of damage there from Stukov with the strike at the heart. Talent, no joke. Tyrell, no level 4 yet, but everything looking fairly standard here. Ooh, Uther going down up top. Maybe got baited a bit by Cassia. Uther does go down. Draco going to clear up this top lane, and with Uther down, they may just have to give this first shrine, as they're going to have to deal with bruisers here in mid as well. Camp were cleared up much faster for the side of team name change. Team Taco team gonna have to clear these up. Yep, they are gonna go ahead and give this Tiro, actually rotating up towards the top, trying to let Greymane back for mana here. Cassie up here as well. Greymane heading down to mid to actually help clear up the bruisers first. Flip there onto Diablo, misses the follow-up stun. Metball getting poked a bit by Greymane, now taking some real damage here. Once those shields are down, can drop pretty quick. Draco trying Dark Flight out of there, but getting flipped, and Draco is going to go down. Second kill of the match in favor of team name change. There's a stun onto Uther. Are they going to get Uther once again? 9 HP! 9! But they do manage to grab Diablo. Uther surviving by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Tyrael, meanwhile, pushing in top, trying to get some value, get level 7. Tribute going to be in the defensible position for team name change. Should be able to pick up the second tribute without too much drama or trouble. And Ready Butkus does push Genji out of lane. Genji having a back, so this should be an easy channel. Genji going to be late, as is Tyrael. Kawaii Sashi going to be a bit late as well, and actually getting dismounted. And now the focus is onto Kawaii Sashi, going for the gank. And there's the dismount, but are they going to be able to get the kill? Good blind there, preventing the Greymane damage. Kawaii Sashi gets behind the wall. Dahaka coming up top. Misses the tongue. 3v2 up here in the top. You know, aggressively trying to gank Cassia. It's a good choice, but just didn't actually execute it exactly right. Cassia sniffing out the gank. But, you know, you're giving up a tribute for the gank. You don't execute it. It's just a lot of resources given up for no gain. And now, I mean, the trend line here is that by the next tribute, Team Name Change is going to have level 10s. Taco Team is not. Actually, no, I forget. I still haven't gotten used to the new timings. No level 10s here for either team. But Taco Team does have to get this one. If they lose this one here, Team Name Change will get the curse and will certainly get level 10 very, very quickly. Diablo spotting out Dahaka there. Dahaka blowing the essence, burrowing, now trying to Z on out, but gonna get blown up there. Just caught out a bit by the members of Taco Team. Gonna be the first death for the side of team name change. Once again, Uther gonna look for a gank here onto Cassia. Draco in a bit of trouble. Needs to be careful of that. Here comes Genji. Missed the Swift Strike, though. But are they going to be able to get the kill? 50 HP. Genji diving for it. He gets the kill. Does he have the Cyber Agility? He's going to take some damage here from the minions, but he was outranging that top tower, which the only one up. So, second kill for Taco Team right before level 10s come in. Going to work out fairly nicely, but Stukov going to land the slow here on Diablo. This is one dead Lord of Terror. Down he goes. So, nice counter gank there. 2 for 1 on tributes. Next tribute going to be once again in that defensible position for the side of team name change. RNG ever in their favor. Here comes the rotation again. Bottom going to be cleaned up. And bottom already pushing onto the fort, so if team name change grabs occurs here, the walls are already down in every lane except top, where there's one cannon still standing. We're going to have Dahaka be able to burrow in. But Dahaka actually late burrowing in, so now the focus here onto Stukov. And Taco Team manages to get the kill, exactly executing what they need to. Now they still have the Sanctification if they need to get away, I believe. Garrosh on the backside, going to be able to interrupt Draco. Here comes Dahaka, trying to get the stun again. Now Dahaka getting focused. There's the flip burrow charge coming in with the Essence blown. Essence is there, but is it going to be enough? So, there's Diablo with the flip. Nope. That's Dahaka going down, and here it is. Taco Team finding a way to get these kills now that they have their level 10s. Once they get that advantageous engage, they definitely have a team that can really execute well. And there's a stun onto Garrosh. Now the focus there. Indomitable going to be blown. Dark Link there for the Swift Strike to finish if it's available. Here it comes. Protected coming in. There's the stun onto Garrosh. He's at 30. He's at 100. Huge salvo doing a ton of damage. Going to take out Genji, though. And now Phoenix going to be able to back on out of there. But this chase is not over. Taco Team now on the run. Valak gonna die for the sins, getting slowed a bit too much. Nope, Valak's gonna survive. There's the Divine Shield onto Tyrael. Tyrael kind of forced an awkward position. Lightning Ball gonna come out, only bounces once to Uther, but there's the Fen gonna take Uther out here with the D-Shield down, no escape. Just kind of an awkward engage there for Taco Team. They were able to get the channel, but just had a really hard time disengaging. Kind of tried to go in for that garage, didn't get the kill. Paid for it harshly. And now they're going to have to give up a curse. Greymane is rotating down into a world of hurt. Wow, that was fast. And now with Greymane down, I mean, there's just no hope of getting this point. Dahaka in the bottom can burrow up. Darklink going to be able to interrupt this for now. Still in a bit of a sticky wicket. There is the poke. Tyrael has the Q. That's interrupt number 1. Uther going to come in with the W. That's interrupt again. Silence coming in. Genji going to have to die for this poke. There it is. Focus on the Kwaisashi. Kwai a little bit low. Dahaka has not joined the team yet. Diablo in a bit of an awkward position. Here comes the Dragon Blade. Here comes the APOC now. Couple of stuns out. Flailing Swipe going to be used to try to disengage. Dahaka still has not joined this fight, though. Valak very low. The salvo just absolutely annihilates 3 people near enough. Genji didn't die, but he might as well have been dead. And now Dahaka joins, finding himself in Uther with the isolation and the curse. They can dive this. Uther gets the D-Shield off to save himself. But wow, team name change. I mean, they got everyone slowed. The salvo came out, and people just died. And now they're not even going for the fort. They're going straight for keep here. They want to pressure the 13 talent tier they have. Stukov looking to look for the root combo potentially. Nope, doesn't use it onto Diablo. Ooh, there's a huge amount of damage now onto Tyrael. Once again, Tyrael going down. Kwaisashi a bit low. But now Dark Link in a world of hurt, as is Marmoon. Tongue onto Valak. Valak trying to get away. No D-Shield. Cleanse going to be used, but it's not going to be enough. Diablo going down. That could actually be the game now. Team name change, clearing up that mid keep so fast. Turning their attention onto core. Greymane is clearing the bot lane at the moment. I guess they're just giving this one up. Here comes Greymane now, but already 50% onto the core. There's a taunt from Garrosh. Can they do anything? Sanctification going to be blown. Salvo comes out. Gets a bit of damage on the Darklink on the backside. Darklink going to go down. The core is down to 10. The core is going to drop. Team name change with a quick victory here off the first curse on map number 2. Team name change. Going to go up 2-0, take the series, get the 3 points. Congratulations them. Taco team, better luck next time. But we're going to see if we can get a post-game interview here, so we'll be right back here on the Nexus Gaming series. Alright, we are back here on the Nexus Gaming series. I am joined by Metball, the coach of Team Name Change. Metball, congrats on the win. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I think we played pretty well. I think we still have a huge margin to improve, but I think either way, it went pretty well.
Yeah. You guys, it was very back and forth. I mean, you got the 100 to 0 Zerg wave to get an early lead on Braxis, but it was very back and forth for a while after that. And I want to take it to, you guys kind of set up on the Bruiser camp. Hanzo spotted it out. You back off, but you don't leave. You're still there. What made you choose when you pulled the trigger to re-engage? What was the thing you saw that said, okay, we're going in, we're winning this fight? Because that's where the game snowballed.
So generally, it was really the positioning of the enemy team. Just that this was when their Hanzo was more like south of the camp, right? I think. I
can't remember Hanzo's positioning. I do remember that you were on the camp. Hanzo spotted it out with the sight. You then backed off. They moved into the camp, and they started taking it, and then you reinvaded. I think it was when Garrosh stepped up thereabouts. I can't remember the exact details, but I just like, is that something you guys do a lot, where you back off and then look for the re-engage potential, or?
So especially that game is how we wanted to play that. We wanted to play it slow. I think both games we generally wanted to do that. And they're comp, so this is the game we're talking about. They were very aggressive. They were looking for that the Garrosh throw and setting up everything on that. And we knew if we just played it slow, just kept doing pulling and kind of like pulling and going where and push that, we will honestly win. We didn't want to play too aggressive. That's why it seemed really slow. At first, we kind of went to it to kind of see where their position was. And at that point, I noticed Hanzo's position was really out from the teams, if we're thinking of the same invade here. Hanzo's position was a little bit more south of us, and he wasn't going to get much value under there.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw, like, most of our ults could get a lot of value if we all push up in this situation. So that's really when I recalled, like, hey, we should go in and invade there. And also, our Sonya had a really good flank on the top side, just coming down in the position. So our position was just generally better than theirs, and we tried to bait into them throwing, kind of, and it worked.
Yeah. So I guess kind of to that end, you guys, I want to talk a bit about draft. You guys put a lot of priority on Stukov, picking him in the first opportunity in both games, in the first 2 picks on Braxis and the first pick on Cursed Hollow. Do you think that he's just that head and shoulders above every other support right now, or is it a comfort thing, or do you just something you scouted? I'm just kind of curious why specifically like that was the high priority.
In general, I think Stuka's pretty good right now, and he kind of fits with a lot of comps, and especially more like the comps that they run. Stuka also kind of beats. If you notice, we had some really good disengaging moments. Our silences were really on point that game, and just in general, we were able to stay alive against like their second game. Their Genji Tyrael, they jump on one of us, we can keep a teammate alive.
Now that's actually I kind of want to highlight that because a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they say the one thing Stukov can struggle with is saving someone quickly. So I just want you to kind of deconstruct. I'm obviously not saying you're wrong. It worked. I saw it just now. But I kind of want to deconstruct, like, how do you make sure that Stukov is able to save someone to counter that kind of dive?
So a lot of it is positioning and just timing your big heal. I think we timed our big heal very effectively. It's something that we practice a lot, not just in Stukov, on really any healer. So we try to do is they had their whole comp was very drop their ultimates, they win the fight.
Right.
So if you kind of notice that the game we played it slower, we try to bait ults. If we bait a Sank, we bait a Hawk, we move in and we go in, and then that's how we kind of time our bio with that. If we can survive their big D blade, Sank, D shield, Hawk, then we could pop the heal and just turn the fight completely. A lot of people also just underestimate big heals in general. That's why I think Rhaegar right now is also really good.
Yeah, I've actually been having a lot of luck with him personally. I'm a support player, so I'm a support player, which is why I really wanted to kind of deconstruct like how you got value out of Stukov, like you mentioned. All right, so let's take it into game number 2. You already mentioned, I mean, their comp was, let's call it a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
But you guys did well rotating onto the map. I think one of the things I found was just fantastic was at one point, I think it was the second tribute, Cassius started to rotate down. There was a clear gank coming the way, and clearly you guys were very quickly counting heroes like, hey, Cassius, something's up, back off. She manages to not get ganked even though 3 people collapse her. So 3 people are committed to a gank that doesn't work while you get a tribute. You get a ton of value off that, on map control and things like that. Is that something that you guys you try to always kind of communicate, like who's rotating to the objectives, or do you just put a lot of that on, Kawhi just kind of having good instincts there?
Yeah, a lot of it is counting. If someone's missing, it kind of just changes positioning in general. I think Kawhi played really well in the top lane. He survived most of the ganks, and they're like 3 or 4 man ganks. This is like a full commitment top lane. And I think one point he even pulled off a kill.
Yeah.
He was creating. We kind of, as a
I
shot
did miss it, but he did get one. Yeah.
As a shot call, I wanted him to keep putting pressure up there. So even though he might have died or get chunked HP, they're committing 3 or 4 HP. Right. And then pretty much they're giving us control the whole bottom half of the map. So we're always trading. If they're putting pressure top, we always want to counter that pressure somewhere else.
All right. Well, with that, that I believe is your first win of Nexus Gaming Series. What are your guys' aspirations now? Like, do you what is your goal as a team now that you're kind of starting to see where some of the teams in Heroic Division are?
Underdog. We're a newer team. In general, I think we have a lot of improvement, and a lot of us have busy schedules. So we came into this really wanting to improve, and I think that's a good start. Our first week definitely showed where we were weak, so to speak, and calls-wise and just playing. And I think personally we underperformed the first week, but that just leads to even more improvement and a bigger kind of snowball going through the following weeks of NGS. So we're looking to improve, and we're also looking to win a lot of games.
All right, well, best of luck. And with that, and thank you, I want to say Charbetta, I'm not even going to try with your name, Charbet, on the Twitch chat for calling the Stukov heal herpes. I have been calling it that since he's been released as a hero, and I don't know why. But with that, any shout-outs here, Matt?
Yeah. Definitely like to shout out the team. Once again, it's all the work. Kawhi legitimately just ran home like 10 minutes before the game, so props to him. Props to everyone making it here. Like, no matter what. BD also has to run like right after this, so it's just the commitment is really here. I like to thank everyone. I think you guys we're all playing well, and we have a lot to improve. Watching it, I know personally a lot of people that are watching it, so just thank you for everyone. I just want to shout out my boy Vinny. He's been with me and he's been watching for a long time now and constantly cheering us on. So power to you, man. And thank you for casting this.
Thank you.
Really appreciated the whole time situation. Just thank you once again.
It worked out better for me. I'm East Coast. It's weird. Last season, games were always starting at like 8 o'clock Eastern, and this season, we've had games at 7 o'clock Eastern all the time last season, and this season's like it's kind of the de facto start time's gone to 9, which is weird. But with that, thanks again for coming on. Best of luck this season. For everyone else, stick around here in about 23 minutes. We're gonna kick off Obscured versus First Pick Nova in Division B West. Stick around for that one. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching the Nexus Gaming Series.